Good morning, dear students. In today's video, we shall be dealing with the second portion or the second part of lesson number 4 of history, the Delhi Sultanate from 1206 up to 1526. In our previous video, we have already discussed about the slave dynasty, about the Khalji dynasty. In this video, we shall be dealing with the different points. We shall be studying about the Sayyid dynasty. We shall be discussing about the Lodi dynasty. We shall be discussing about the causes of the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. We shall be discussing about the administration and the resource mobilization. First of all, the Sayyid dynasty. The Sayyid rulers, they ruled from 1414 to 1451. For a very short period of time they ruled. Khizr Khan laid the foundation of the Sayyid dynasty. We can say Khizr Khan, he was the person who was the founder of the Sayyid dynasty after defeating Daulat Khan. Daulat Khan was defeated by Khizr Khan and established the Sayyid dynasty. This dynasty ruled till AD 1451, when its last ruler Alauddin Alam Shah was defeated by Bahalul Lodhi. About the Sayyids, in detail it is not given in your book, you will be getting in the higher classes. Just you need to know that the Sayyid dynasty was founded by Khizr Khan after defeating Daulat Khan, and the last ruler of the Sayyid dynasty was Alauddin Alam Shah, and he was defeated by Bahalul Lodhi, and the Lodhi dynasty was established by Bahalul Lodhi. Now comes the Lodhi dynasty. The Lodhi rulers, they ruled from 1451 up to 1526. Quite long time they ruled. Here we shall try to understand about three rulers of the Lodhi dynasty. The first one was Bahalul Lodhi. As you already got Bahalul Lodhi, he was the founder of the Lodhi dynasty. He ruled from 1451 up to 1488. He was the founder of the Lodhi dynasty. He brought peace and order in the country. Before Bahalul Lodhi, in society there was no law and order, there was no peace. So when he became the ruler, he brought peace as well as order or law and order in the country. He died in the year of 1488 AD and was succeeded by his son Sikandar Lodhi. When Bahalul Lodhi died in the year of 1488, his place was taken by his son, whose name was Sikandar Lodhi. So we can say the second ruler of the Lodhi dynasty was Sikandar Lodhi. Sikandar Lodhi, he ruled from 1488 up to 1517 AD. Actually, Sikandar Lodhi, it was not his real name. His real name was Nizam Shah. The real name or the actual name of Sikandar Lodhi was Nizam Shah. He is believed to be the greatest ruler of this dynasty. It is said that Nizam Shah or Sikandar Lodhi, he was the greatest ruler of the Lodhi dynasty. In the year 1503 AD, he founded the city of Agra. You know, Agra is a city. At present time also it is the same name is there, Agra. The city of Agra, it was founded by Sikandar Lodhi in the year of 1503. In the year of 1517, he fell ill and died. 1517, Sikandar Lodhi, he got ill and he died. The last ruler of the Lodhi dynasty was Ibrahim Lodhi, who ruled from 1517 up to 1526 AD. And we can say Lodhi dynasty was the last dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate, and after that the rule of the Mughals came, which we shall be discussing in our next chapter. So Ibrahim Lodhi was the last king of the Delhi Sultanate. He was the son of Sikandar Lodhi. Ibrahim Lodhi was the son of Sikandar Lodhi, and he was the last ruler of the Lodhi dynasty as well as the Delhi Sultanate. He was very ill-tempered and lost the sympathy of his relatives as well as nobles. Ibrahim Lodhi, he was not a good ruler. He was very ill-tempered. He was not tolerable about the others, and that's why he lost the sympathy of his relatives as well as the nobles. And that chance was taken by the first Mughal ruler, we can say Babur. In the year of 1526, Babur attacked Ibrahim Lodhi and he was defeated, and thus the end of the Delhi Sultanate came. So that's about the different Delhi Sultans. Now we are going to study a very important topic of this chapter, causes of the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. We already got that the we are going to discuss about the different causes or the different reasons for the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. The first point, the Delhi Sultans had conquered India by sword. By sword means by their power of army or might. They never tried to win the confidence of the people. This is the first point we can say. When the Delhi Sultans conquered our country by sword or by their power, they never tried to win the confidence of the people. And as you know, if the confidence of the people cannot be won, no dynasty or no person or no ruler can rule for a long time. So the Delhi Sultans, they lost the confidence of the people, and that's the first reason for their downfall. The second point we can say, most of the sultans were intolerant towards the Hindus. You know, in our country Hinduism is the majority religion, and the Delhi Sultans, they were Muslims. And most of the Delhi Sultans, they were not tolerable about the Hindus, about the Hindu rulers or the general people. They were not given much freedom, they were not given much facilities. We already got in the previous video as well as in this video that the land which was given to the nobles, it was taken back. Like that, many problems were created. The third one is, the army was ill organized and ill disciplined. You know, during that time the main organ of the government or the administration was army, because they were mainly depending on their army forces. But the army of the Delhi Sultans, they were not properly organized and they were not properly disciplined, and that was another reason for the downfall of the Delhi Sultans. Next one is, there were no good communication or transport system. You know, if any dynasty wants to flourish, the system of communication and transport should be good. But under the Delhi Sultans, the communication system as well as transport system was not at all good. Next one, there was no definite law of succession. You know, after the death of one ruler, the next ruler is his son. That was the system in the process of kingdom. But the Delhi Sultans, they did not have any proper or any definite law of succession. It was only depending on their power. The last point is, the invasion of the Mongols also weakened the empire. We already got that during the time of Alauddin Khalji, the Mongols, they invaded our country for 5 times, and no doubt all these times the Mongols were defeated. They were defeated, but it affected the treasury of the dynasty, and that were another main reason for the downfall of the Delhi Sultans. So these are the different reasons for the downfall of the Delhi Sultans. Now comes another important point, the administration of the Delhi Sultanate. The government was run under various departments. The Delhi Sultans, they divided the government under various departments. Each department was supervised by a minister or a high officer. A minister was appointed for each department. The wazir was the chief minister at that time. Nowadays we know the head of the state is known as the chief minister. At that time the chief minister was known as the wazir. The Bakshi was the paymaster of the army. We can say the army, it was under the control of the Bakshi. The Qazi was the chief justice. The system of justice, it was under the Qazi. The department of Diwan-i-Insha looked after the state correspondence. The different matters related to states was generally looked after or solved, or suggestions were given by one department, and that department was known as the Diwan-i-Insha. The Diwan-i-Risalat looked after religious affairs as well as education. The different religious matters as well as the Department of Education was looked after by the Department of Diwan-i-Risalat. So this was the system of administration under the Delhi Sultans. Now we are going to get the last point of this video as well as this chapter. It is about resource mobilization. What is the meaning of resource mobilization? As we know, each and every dynasty or each and every ruler, they needed money for the smooth functioning of the government or the development of the country. So resource mobilization means from where the Delhi Sultans, they got the resources or the money. I have taken here 4 points. Following are the chief sources of their income. The first point is the khiraj or land revenue. Revenue means we can say tax. It was also known as khiraj tax or land tax. Land revenue was the major source of their income. Under the Delhi Sultans, land revenue, it was the main source of their income, because land is used by all the people, and the people, they needed to pay the tax or the revenue to the government. It was generally fixed at 1/5 of the total produce. 1/5 of the total produce means, just let me take one very simple example. If any farmer is there and he produces 5,000 kilogram of rice in 1 year, out of this 5,000 rice, 1/5, that means 1,000 kg of rice should be given as a land revenue to the government, and that was one source of the income of the Delhi Sultans. The next one is the jizya tax. It was imposed only on the non-Muslims. This jizya tax, it was not imposed, or it was not supposed to be paid by the Muslims. It was supposed to be paid only by the non-Muslims, by the Hindus or the Christians or the Buddhists. It was realized at the rate of 10 to 40 takas depending on the payer's income. It was fixed from rupees 10 to rupees 40. At that time, rupees was known as the takas, depending on the payer's income. If income is less, it will be 10, 12, 15, somewhat like that. And if income is more, it will be 35, 36, or even it can be 40. But it should not be less than 10 rupees, or it should not be more than 40 rupees. That's the second source of their income. The third one is octroi duty. What is the meaning of octroi duty? It was realized on the exchange and transportation of commercial goods. We can say octroi duty, or we can say it is sales tax or income tax, like that, because this transportation and exchange and transportation, it was mainly related to trade or business. The tax which was paid by the different businessmen or the traders, it was known as the octroi duty, and it was also fixed between 2.5% to 10%. If the export or the import is more, it will be 10% or somewhat near to that, and if the amount of exchange is less, it will be 2.5% of the total export of the different commercial goods. That's about octroi duty. The last one is about the zakat tax. Actually, you can see it was one negligible tax. It was a negligible tax supposed to be paid by all the Muslims. Jizya tax was paid by the non-Muslims, and zakat tax, it was supposed to be paid by all the Muslims, but very few people are there who paid this tax. So these are the different types of sources of resource mobilization by the Delhi Sultans. Well, the lesson is completed. Go through the video. If there is any doubt, you ask to me. I'll definitely try to clear your doubts. And also you need to read the chapter, because in the video it is not possible to explain each and every line of the chapter. You need to read the chapter, you need to underline the important points, and if you cannot understand any point which is not included in the video, you can ask it to me. I shall definitely clear it. Thank you very much.